I just dropped this guy off at this recycling place. It's a daytime kind of destination, so I wasn't familiar with it, where it was and what's going on. We had a bit of snow in the night, and so it threw a lot of people into a panic, and it ended up being okay for a Monday night. I can't really complain. And we'll just cruise by the homeless shelter here. They've put some, see those lines on the road? They put some stuff down that's supposed to melt the ice. It's a saline solution, but the thermometer on the dashboard of the car, if it's to be believed, says 3 degrees plus, and the lowest it went was 1 plus. So we didn't have any negatives, so we didn't have any, and it didn't get to 0, so nothing really froze, but it's almost there. A little bit of the snow stuck, but it's as soon as the sun comes out in the morning, it's gonna clean it up. It's gonna melt. I've had a pretty good night. I'm tired right now because I didn't get a nap at all tonight, and I only slept about 3 hours during the daytime after having been awake for, maybe 4 hours, because at night I slept on Sunday night. So I'm just gonna go to the bank now, which is right across the street there, and I'm going to deposit some money because I did okay. We just need to wait for this traffic. This is the worst traffic light in town. This is a notorious intersection where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 streets come together rather than, well, yeah. It's like two streets come together and then another one sort of branches off of that. And at one time this used to be a roundabout, but it didn't work very well, so they pulled the roundabout out. And now this was before my time in this town, but back in the 70s or something, or 60s or 70s, they ripped it out because it was bullshit. Okay, well, here is the bank machine behind those doors right there, so that's where I'm going. Talk to you sooner. It's Tuesday night. It's just 8:23 p.m. and I just dropped off at the ferries. I got my lease on in 2 hours flat. That's a good start. I got 10 hours left to go. The next shift should cover my gas, or the next fare should cover my gas money, and the rest of it for the rest of the night, the next 9.5 hours or so will go right in my pocket, which is great. That's the way to do it. So right now I'll head back into town and I'll just coast through the rest of the night. And that'll be just wonderful. And I'll let you know towards the other end what it is, or how it went. But right now I'm getting a strange and curious vibration in the drivetrain. I don't know what it is. It's like with the old cars that had a drive shaft, when the thing was, when you had a bad universal joint or something, the thing would vibrate. And that's what it feels like is happening, but I've never encountered this on a front-wheel drive car before. So who knows what's causing that. I hope it doesn't get worse. Anyway, yeah, I'll let you know what's going on. Taxi vlog 433. I gotta watch my step here, because there are things on the balcony, things like plants and chairs and stuff like that, and this light is shining right in my face so that you can see me, because if I didn't have this light on, you wouldn't see me at all. It's the beginning of the Wednesday. It's about 6:30 p.m., maybe a bit later. I'm kind of late today. I was kind of slow getting ready. Just that there were so many things to do before I could get out the door. You know, like take a shower and find some clean clothes and, well, eat something, which I did before the shower and all that. Watch a few videos and get dressed and come out. Make sure I got everything I need for a night at work. It's Wednesday. Did I say that already? Wednesday night. The Monday night, well, that was okay. Tuesday night, the previous segment that you saw was just after dropping off at the ferries at, what was it, 8:30? I had my lease on already. And the rest of the night, not that there were that many calls, but I got some good ones. There were a couple of little Christmas parties, office parties, I guess, company parties. Just little things like, you know, a liquor store, and one hotel, I think, had its little staff party. And not that there were that many people taking cabs, but the ones I got went good. I had a couple that went out towards Happy Valley Road. That's like $35 each. And then the one to the ferry was about $55. And I had a few trips that went from one end of town to the other, like, you know, $20 jobs. And I connected a few times, you know. I would drop off in Fernwood and get another call nearby right away and take that to Esquimalt or something. So in general, the night was, it was a $300 night. I think I only did about 22 trips. It's $300. And now I'm off to work for the Wednesday night. I'll let you know eventually how it went. I hope it goes like the Tuesday night did. It was good. It was busy enough. The trips were long. And I got a chance to watch 2 or 3 movies. Yeah, I think I watched 3 movies. Old B movies, you know, 50s science fiction kind of thing. Like Riders to the Stars, and It Conquered the World and stuff like that. Talk to you sooner. Well, you know this scene, don't you? If you've been watching my taxi vlogs for a while, you would know this scene. This is the airport. I just dropped off here. It is now 4:26 in the morning on the Thursday, the 8th, I believe, of December. Now, this night was slow. This Wednesday night was slow. I was doing an average of 1 trip an hour. And the average trip before this was about $13. And I've been out 10 hours. There you go. But this trip, it was $28 on the meter, and she gave me $40 and said Merry Christmas, even though I don't really do Christmas. Christmas to me is just another day. So instead of making about $30 for myself, I'll be making a little more, maybe 70, maybe more yet. If I get another fare or 2, well, one can always speculate. Sometimes in the morning hours it improves and people are on their way to work. The temperature, I don't know if you can see that, but it's 0 degrees. 0 degrees, so it's exactly the freezing point of water. And there's quite quite a wind chill. It's a little blustery out there. And when I woke up yesterday afternoon, there were two things on the clock radio that it was saying. One was that some guy who was walking his two dogs and trying to cross a road, his dogs got hit by a car. Yes, that's what it said. That is the news. And if anyone has any information that it was a light blue hatchback, the driver was blonde in his 20s, who stopped and asked the owner of the dogs if he was all right. Now, I don't know why they're looking for the driver. I mean, the dogs should be on a leash. Dogs should always be on a leash. And when you're crossing a road, you should look both ways. And don't cross the road if there's a car coming. And especially that road. It's a long, straight road. If there's a car coming, you won't miss it. You can't miss it. Yeah. And the other thing was that it's supposed to snow in the afternoon. Today in the afternoon. So maybe we'll have some white stuff on the ground by the time I'm going back to work. I'll let you know about that about this time tomorrow. It's just after 2 a.m. and it's snowing. I've had a wonderful night so far. It's 2/3 of the shift and I've got like almost 250 on. I just got out of the car for a moment to take a piss. And now I'm getting back. This is beautiful, isn't it? Isn't this just beautiful? I like it. And you can still see that up in the sky. There's plenty more where that came from. And I know it's only like an inch or inch and a half deep, but the other night we had a lot more. We had in some parts of town as much as 6 inches. Here it's yeah, it's a little bit. Let me just show you my top light's getting a little bit of snow on it. Yeah, you can see the little flakes coming down in front of the headlights. It's so quiet. It's so quiet this morning. There's like nobody doing anything. Well, I might as well get back in the car and watch a movie. Yeah, this will work. Shake the snow off my boots. Yeah. Okay. It is a little bit on the chilly side. Let's turn the heat up a little bit. Well, if not much happens between now and the end of the shift, I'll say good night at this point, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. If something does happen momentous this morning, I'll get back on here and let you know about it. So far, so good. Had a wonderful night so far. Just thought I'd give you a glimpse at what things look like now. It's 3:30 in the morning, and there's not a lot of traffic. Everything's pretty bright, actually. And yeah, you know, I had another couple of fares since that last segment. I was missing this stuff. I hadn't seen any in about 5 years. It's kind of nice to see snow. It makes everything that much brighter and cheerful. It's sort of a winter pick-me-up. Well, too much of a good thing would be boring, wouldn't it? We got flowers in the snow. Got one out to the airport. To date, so far, well, it's 4:30 in the morning. So far, it's a $300 night. I can't complain, and it was an easy pace for $300 too. I wasn't rushed. I wasn't forced. And with these kind of conditions, you just take your time. You don't accelerate too hard. You don't steer too hard. You don't brake too hard. You just do it smooth and gentle, and you get where you're going. And it's beautiful. So, yeah, this is probably the end of my night. Or I'll probably have some more business, but I don't have to tell you all about it. Another hour of work in town once I get down there. And I might have, 2 or 3 fares, and then that's going to be the end of my night. So I've done good, like I said. And so far, it's a $300 night on a Thursday. I'm pleased with that. So, roundabouts in the snow and ice. Fucking stupid. That's all I got to say about that. It's now Saturday, 10 minutes to 5 p.m. It's dark already. I went to work last night I got there at 6:30. I got in the car, and immediately I had a call, which was not too far away. And in the first hour, I had 3 trips. I think it was about $40. That was okay. Now, the rest of the night was kind of stressful in that I kept getting sent long distances to pick up people. And as a result, at the end of the night, I used more fuel than I normally would for a Friday night. And it was just, I was just being sent to ridiculous, outrageous distances to pick people up instead of getting calls that are nearby. And the most stressful part was at one time I had dropped off in the northern end, and I was heading back to a central location where I usually like to work. But then I was being flung to the extreme west of town, west end of town. And the call was, when I looked at it, 10 minutes old when I accepted it. And by the time I got there, the call was 20 minutes old. There was a cab from another company sitting there waiting. And I tried calling the phone number, but it was from one of those automatic lift-up phones that you lift it up and it goes directly to the cab company. So I couldn't call the customer directly on my phone. So I had to go looking. I went and looked at the place. It was officers' mess for the Navy. And I got there, and the people that I was looking for had already left. And then I came back out, and then some people were walking towards the cab that was in front of mine. And I said, do you guys need a cab? And they said, yeah, we do. I said, well, which one did you call? And they said, well, we called this one. And I said, well, too bad, because mine's the other one. Well, whatever. I got back in the car and signaled a no load and got sent to a bar I got to the bar and there were these people trying to get into another cab. And I phoned the phone number that I had. And I ended up getting the guy who was about to get into the other cab. And I said, "Oh, I'm looking at you. I'm right behind you." He said, "Oh, okay." So he came back, and then he said, "Just wait a second." He went back to the other cab, grabbed his friend out, and they came into my car. The friend was sitting in the front, and the guy was sitting in the back. And they wanted to go to an address that was not too far away. So, okay, I took him there. And the guy whose phone it was got out. And the other guy, I was going to take him somewhere back to the north end. But he says, "Where can I get Burger King?" And I said, "Well, the only two I know, there's one downtown and there's one in Hugh Royal." And he said, "We'll go to the one downtown." Okay, so we start driving downtown. And we're in Esquimalt, so we're going down Esquimalt Road, and we get to the bridge, and we go over the bridge, and we get downtown. And he says, "Where the fuck are we going?" And I told him, "Well, you wanted to go get Burger King, so we're going to Burger King." He said, "Oh, yeah, right." So we turned the corner, and I stopped the car, and he decided to pay. So he got his card out, and I got the machine ready and gave him the machine, and he struggled through it. And the machine at the end of the transaction says, "Please remove your card." So it said, "Please remove your card." He gave the machine back to me, took his card, and got out of the car, and he says, "And I'll be right back." Meanwhile, the MDT on my dashboard is going beep, and I accept it because it's just down the road. And I get there, and it's these two people that are sitting on a bench, a man and a woman. They're well dressed. They're right outside the conference center. Now, this time of year, there are Christmas parties, so they had come from a Christmas party, and they said, "We're going to Brentwood Bay." Brentwood Bay, $45 fare from there. Yes. So I take them. And I'm telling them the story of the Burger King guy, that I was glad to get him out of the car because he was not very communicative. And then he said, "Where the fuck are we going?" Anyway, so I took those people out to Brentwood Bay. I dropped them off. I got my $50 for doing that. And then I'm back on the highway coming back into town, and I'm just arriving, just coming in by Gateway Village, and the phone number phones me. And it was the phone number of the guy who we picked up at the bar, and whose friend was left at Burger King. But you gotta, when it's busy like that, you can't just wait outside a place, especially downtown, for some goomer who's going into Burger King to grab some burgers and go home. It's busy. We've got calls going out to Yin Yang. I can't wait for anybody, especially if he's already paid me and the meter's not going. Like, fuck, I'm going to wait for you. So that was the most, shall we say, nail-biting part. And it's really weird. While I was sleeping today, I had some bad dreams about flipping the taxi over and about wrecking my own vehicle. And I don't know why I had these dreams, but I did. Maybe it was from the stress of that night. Because when I got home, I fixed myself something to eat, and I poured myself one glass of whiskey about so deep. And it was bourbon, and it was 40%, wasn't that strong. But by the time I was down to here, I had to go to bed. I had to go to sleep. I was talking to my mother on Skype, and hi, Mom. And I could not stay awake. I was so falling asleep right here in the chair. I was nodding off, and I just had to tell Mom, goodbye. I'm burnt. I'm bagged. I'm burnt out. So I went straight into bed there, and I slept until, I guess it was 1 in the afternoon. So from 9 to 1, I slept 4 hours. I got up for a few minutes, and then I went back to bed, started reading something, fell asleep, had more weird dreams. And I think it was a couple times I woke up and fell asleep again. I finally got out of bed about, half an hour ago. And I started looking at comments and stuff on my videos, what have you. But this is at the end of Taxi Vlog 433. If I got the number wrong while I was out on the road, I'm sorry. I hope yours is better than mine.